Let me start here. Let me start with this. This event was highly organized. It was organized by a Dutch Palestinian pro-Hamas group called the PGNL. And this group had originally organized an anti-Israel protest outside the stadium in order to create chaos for the over 3,000 Israeli fans that had traveled to watch the game of Maccabi Tel Aviv versus Ajax. And so what ended up happening was the Israeli authorities ended up actually contacting the Dutch law enforcement authorities and security officials and counterterrorism officials to let them know that this was being planned. Israel's got very, very strong eyes, if you will. And the event was the actual protest was shut down. So what ended up happening was the PGNL ended up going using WhatsApp and their various social media platforms with over 800 to 1,000 members, and ended up organizing a secretive pogrom, if you will, for lack of a better term, to hide any Palestinian flags, keffiyehs, or any pro-Hamas paraphernalia, and ended up coordinating using Uber and WhatsApp, and ended up secretly surrounding and cordoning off sections of the exits of where the train entrance and exits were for the purpose of assaulting the Israelis who had traveled there. And that's when all hell broke loose. But here's my problem. And Brian, I've been in law enforcement for 16 years as a reserve deputy sheriff. I trained SWAT teams. Problem here is the complete failure of the Dutch law enforcement to act on the Israeli intelligence to protect not just the Jews, but all of the attendees. And that's what ended up causing this massive security failure. And all of that is a result of not taking the intelligence that was provided by Israel's Shin Bet, the Shirut Klilei Bitachon, and using that information to make sure officers were strategically able to get the Israelis safely back to their hotels. Massive failure.
There were media reports, Aaron. This is what some of the media was saying, that an Israeli fan tearing down a Palestinian flag may have sparked the attacks. But it seems, Aaron, like this was planned long before that, even if it did happen, that happened, right?
Yeah, no, that's completely false information. There can be no connection between the premeditated assault that took place in Amsterdam and any bad behavior that may have happened at that soccer match. The fact is that there's evidence, there's data flowing out across the internet right now from WhatsApp groups, from the PGNL, from their founders, their creators, Ayman Nejmeh and his partner, Mohab Majoub. Again, Israeli intelligence had reported that this was going to be a major issue. Now you've got France beefing up 4,000 police officers strong for their upcoming game. And here's the bottom line, Brian. The fact is, Europe fell a long time ago. They've been importing Islamic extremists into those countries for 3 decades. What did you think was going to happen? Now, I don't really speak to anti-Semitism like your guest does, because I don't really think you can control whether people hate you or not. But what I can speak to as an Israeli special operations veteran is that Israeli intelligence is never wrong. Look at Hassan Nasrallah, look at Ismail Haniyeh, and look at all the terrorists that Israel's been systematically targeting. It hurts. It hurts the Arab world because Israel has been signaling a tremendous amount of strength. The problem is the flip side. The antithesis is that Jews outside of Israel aren't afforded the same security measures that they are by the Yamam, the Mossad, and all the incredible units we have in the IDF and in our Israeli intelligence community. So the fact is that the Dutch authorities were warned. Now France doesn't want to get egg on its face. But I can assure you that France is as dangerous as the Netherlands, if not worse. I can assure you that London is as bad, if not worse, and Europe is not a friend to the Jews. And as far as protecting us, I think we're at a place right now where Israelis and Jews need to make a very hard decision about what they want to expose themselves to. But what did you expect? Like your guest said, if you aggrandize globalize the intifada for 12 months straight and allow it to fester in U.S. communities and on campuses without putting out those flames, you will escalate to violence. And Brian, you and I have talked about this. This only gets worse. It'll only get worse until Jews get killed. And when they do get killed, we'll be talking about it here, and I'm going to say I told you so. So now it's about personal safety, and it's about the European countries taking the Israeli intelligence serious.